streaming. So I'm now streaming. There you go.
Yay, we're here. We're live. We're awesome. Well,
and 5 minutes was just to fix an audio issue on a different side, but so much quicker. Oh, that is such a cool thumbnail. Us in person. Fix an audio issue on a different... Yeah, I'm trying to edit a video. So I'm just on to you right now because no one's watching. I'm trying to edit a video which still has us together, so it'll be a nice like, hey look, we're still together. People will be confused like, why are they together? Well, we're not, but we were. Because buffer. You know, things can be buffered. I'll post it then while you vamp about something. Yes.
Okay. Hi, guys. Yeah, we got to post it on Twitter, too.
Okay.
Anyway, hi, guys. We're doing good. We are back to talk our favorite things about Trek and do some Would You Rather questions. I think it'll be really fun. We want to do something positive this week. We didn't want to be negative or be on a downer at all, so we thought, what better way to do that than have you guys get to know us, ask us some questions, and find out our favorite things. It's kind of like a live top 10, but we're not going to go through and do each thing. We're just going to pick like our favorites of things. So I think that's a good way to do it.
Yes.
Yes, he agrees. See? And I got a delay on my window here for him, so he's like nodding, but he's not nodding right now, even though he probably is not.
Nodding again. Yep, I'm nodding again just to be helpful to you. See, look, I'm nodding. Yep. This is helpful. So this is the pre-show chatsy chat.
Oh, there you go. Now, see, I just caught up to your nodding now. So.
Oh, I'm nodding again. Oh, it's very confusing. Look at me. I'm nodding. Do you ever see the show Noddy?
We love you too.
It was an English
Noddy?
show. Yeah.
No.
Noddy was Noddy the penguin or Noddy the monster in a nice way?
I don't know. Never watched.
Oh yeah, it wasn't neither. It was a guy in a clown. It's like a well, Google it. Google Noddy. And then the old one's better, but
like Noddy, Noddy.
Yeah, Noddy UK TV show. So they're garden gnomes, must be, but not like specifically. Yeah.
Guys, we need to ask you too. How does this look? Because we can't use Skype anymore.
Yeah.
And we're using Google Hangouts, so the quality might not be as good as it has been on our past lives.
Or it could be better. You let us know.
Skype, Skype's updated their terms of service and all this crap.
And backlog tech. Yes. Yeah. It's not great. So yeah, do we look better even? Do we look worse even? Do we look 60 frames a second even? Because I'm trying to stream it at 60.
Terms of...
You let us know. I think Stuart looks better, but that could just be me. It's not great.
It's because I got a haircut, baby.
So yeah, do we look better even? Do we look worse even?
Okay, I'm seeing Noddy now. Noddy and Toyland.
Stream at 60.
Terms of... Right?
You let us know. I think Stuart looks better.
It's like a gnome with the red shirt and a blue hat. It's because I got a haircut.
Yeah, that.
Cool.
Not so good. Oh.
Not so good. So. Oh, that's awful. Well, that's Google Hangouts for you. Way to go, Google.
But hey, not half hour of, oh, this is barely working. Just straight in and it is working and we look at least vaguely high definition. And both, it's the great thing about technology, we're both using 4K webcams.
Well, Baz T just sent £2 and he said, hi guys, it's looking good.
Thank you. Yeah.
Audio is an 8, video is a 9, he says.
That's
so
pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Yay, thanks Baz. Super chats are thoroughly important, so thanks for setting the ball rolling.
Especially with this one, because like we said, it's would you rather questions. So I'll start off by asking one.
Oh god.
How's that?
Sure.
So it's would you rather or our favorite stuff. So my first one is, would you rather be assimilated by the Borg or have the phage? See,
well,
I think I personally would rather have the phage because there's a chance that you could get healed at some point and you're still yourself.
Well, what time in the timeline are we for both? Because that's important.
Beginning of Voyager. Beginning of Voyager.
Oh, damn it. So it doesn't affect anything then.
Yeah. Well, you're either going to get your ass kicked by Janeway or try to steal organs from her crew and still get your ass kicked by Janeway. So,
yeah. I mean, a Borg, you lose yourself instantly, but you could be lucky and be a Unimatrix, whatever. You know, those people that go into regeneration and see another world. So that would be, if you were that, then you get to hang out in your off time at least. But if you're in a phage, every day is a horrible nightmare of life and non-life. But at least you're alive.
But you'd be in pain all the time.
Yeah, but I'm sure they took drugs to not be in pain. Like, I'm sure they, the whole point was to do, the whole thing was medical advancement. So you can imagine they really pioneered the, painkiller technology. The ibuprofen is really strong in the Delta Quadrant.
Right.
It's true.
Michael Parker sent $5.
Nice.
Please do a full expose on Garrick.
Ooh.
Well, we haven't started character bios and stuff. It's something we've talked about that maybe I will do research on and present a video. We're not sure yet, but that might be interesting. Garrick would be a very involved one, I'm sure.
With lots of supposition and potentials. And see, I just love to see Stuart's writing on non-ship stuff, to be honest. Like, what would he do with that? I'm fascinated by what he could do.
He has exactly 147 pores on his forehead. We get into such detail with the ships that I'd have to do something.
I mean, well, can
you correctly identify the number of molecules in Leonard Nimoy's butt?
3.
That's from a Weird Al Yankovic song.
Or did you see the For What They Leave Behind documentary? This released the very first ever high def footage of Garrick.
Have they released it already?
No. But they're trying doing another fundraising push to try and get some more money to try and do even more high def footage because they were so impressed by it. And obviously, just doubling the resolution and having original masters to go from obviously going to make a huge difference. But they showed off literally one single frame, but it was pretty, impressive. I mean, Trek was filmed on film, which means you can get a really clean 1080p off it. And there's a lot of colors and stuff in Star Trek. So of all the shows, it does do good to get visual masters. So there you go. Now you've got high def of Garrick ready for.
That's cool. I would love to see that whole show redone. But Ian Warrender, £5. My favorite thing about my favorite thing about Trek is the community, the fans that kept it going from the very early days with the letter writing campaign, the fan films and books. Exactly. Same with Star Wars. I mean, Gene and George Lucas both kind of embraced the fans as keeping things alive. Gene maybe not so much in the later years because he kind of squashed Franz Joseph. They had falling out, and he kind of disavowed all that stuff.
Well, it's a little bit different to a fan. That's a fan that went professional and invented loads of rules that Gene didn't like a pairs rule and stuff. So I mean, it's not an average fan. Whereas like if
Gene made the pairs rule, not Franz Joseph.
That's what I mean. And then Franz Joseph broke it, so hence why I didn't like him. You can imagine if George was 30 years younger, and then he would probably hate Rian Johnson too. A guy that ruins his franchise. You know what I mean? A guy that ruins his franchise. Just like I'm not saying franchise ruined it, but I mean someone actively worked against it in a sense. It's not Commander Hawkins, it's Cockings. Hawkins. It's American.
Hawkins. Well,
Hawkins.
It's still a way to spell it. But
it was wrong. Any way to spell it apart from the right one is wrong.
It's another way to say it.
You're like a Nazi man. Come on with your spelling. You gotta be on my side. Huh.
I love how the way you have me framed, you can't see my L-cars, which is sad.
Did you just see what just happened?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
what happened?
My background came off.
Well, I'll see it in a second, I'm sure.
I know you will. This is the
There it is.
I couldn't see that, so I have to go back and watch it. So I'm gonna fix this while you vamp.
You fix it.
Yeah. It's been good. I really want to master this anyway. But you vamp, okay? Because I've got headphones.
Vamp. I don't have vampire fangs. I can't vamp. I didn't even know vamp was a thing. Captain Foley, how much to burn that disco shirt? Well, I have another one. Let's see. $500. A $500 donation. I'll burn the shirt. Sorry, this is just the one I threw on this morning. I just sat around the house all day and had this on. So don't mean to offend anyone, because obviously if you read the comments, I hate disco so much that I just hate it, because we hate all things Discovery here on Trekyards, as they tend to say. It's not true, but anyway, we either hate it or we love it. people don't seem to understand or listen to what we talk about. So
that hasn't come undone in 3 years. Not a single time.
well, it was about time.
Apparently.
And it had to be on a live. It couldn't be when we were filming. You could edit. You could stop. You know, it couldn't be when we weren't even talking to each other. No, it had to be on a live. There you go. That's you know why? Because it's Karma's way of saying you guys haven't released any bloopers.
Sure.
So we're gonna blooper you guys up while it's live.
Interesting non-super chat question though from Michael Kurland. Captain Commander, which series would you like to see in HD first, DS9 or Voyager?
I'd say Voyager, to be honest. Deep Space Nine would be awesome. Don't get me wrong, but you got to wait for the last couple seasons to really get the impact of the high definition, those battle scenes. So it'd take a while anyway. Voyager had some really cool stuff right off the hop.
Yes.
And if they were both doing them, and I know they were both doing them, I'd probably want to see Voyager first, and then catch up with Deep Space Nine after it was kind of all the seasons were done. You know, I could wait for Voyager.
You can wait for
to
Voyager.
Do its thing. You know what I mean, though, like, because one of the first things I'd want to do when they remaster Deep Space Nine is throw in one of the later episodes, like Sacrifice of Angels, and watch that.
Well, actually,
watch
what you mean is that because they released it season by season, you'd skip the first 3 years of DS9.
Yeah.
2 years, and then you only buy season 3 disc sort of thing. Whereas Voyager, you might just invest in the first one just to see what they did, sort of thing.
Yeah. And besides, Space Channel over here plays the high definition or the remastered TNG and stuff. So if they played it live on TV, that's what I was saying. So,
yeah, for
that
me,
makes sense.
Yes, I know DS9 is cheaper to redo because it's mostly film until a certain point. But again, once you've committed to doing it, you can't stop at season 5. And then all that.
Any kind of would you rather questions, but preferably Star Trek related. But anyway, yes, go ahead, continue.
Yeah, and then obviously VFX takes over, and I know they are doing some remasters of the Sacrifice of Angels stuff, but a lot of those scenes have been lost. Not all of them, but some. Obviously, most of the assets don't hold up, but you've also done a lot of remaster assets. And Voyager, a lot of this stuff is just replacing with newer stuff. But even just a 1080p version would look nice. I mean, I've done some vague remasters that just looks crisper. Because all you want is crisp, If you want to do like a total remaster, that's different. That's like, adding new effects, new lighting stuff. But it can be done pretty straightforwardly. But I just love, as you know, I love Voyager because there's more ships, more aliens, more planets, more adventures. Yes, worse characters, but I'm into Trek for the trekking. I'm not into Trek to see, Bashir talk about his parents. You know what I mean? Like, I love them both, but Voyager is far more Star Trek than DS9. DS9 is a better character piece. So, like, you'd rather watch the characters in high definition, but I'd rather see the stories in high definition of Voyager. Does that make sense? You're muted. Still muted. That's on. I feel like it's on purpose now. Nope, still muted. Would you ever, guys, Charles J, would you ever revive the top 10 series? Well, we'll only revive if people would watch them, because there's no point doing shows that people don't watch, and nope. And people didn't watch them enough to get the revenue to do them, unfortunately. It's a problem. Hello, Smedley Dwight. Still not there. Do you want to leave the hangout and come back, and I'll vamp? Okay. Technical issues in the middle. That's great. That's great. Monkey Web, would you rather 10 hours of Season 1 Bashir or 10 hours of Season 2 Jellicent Elix? Well, I mean, Season 1 Bashir I think was better than Season 7 Bashir, because I hated him when he got super... I'm emotionless. I'm emotionless. I'm a evolved... Chris, shut up. Do more interesting things. Lip sync time. Josh Noel. I saw them together. $5 Canadian, thank you. Hey, 2 questions. Do either of you watch SF Debris, and would you like to see a mini-series about the Terran Empire, say 12th century? Yes, I've watched a lot of SF Debris. A lot of them, actually. More in the olden days when at university, I watched a lot. Probably all of his movie reviews, a lot of his show reviews. He sort of moved around a lot. They're interesting, although I wish he did better clip editing, because he just sort of throws them in rather than cutting to them. But that's what we do more than anything else. And Terran Empire is great. I'd rather see it in TOS era, not Discovery, actual TOS era from Intimate Darkly style stuff, how they did it rather than Discovery. But I don't want to see DS9 version because I didn't like those too much. Send me the link again. Ah, Stuart. Let's see. Okay. This is going great. Hey guys. Hey, Wayne. Captain Stuart needs to take a break. Take a him from the Padclads. Look at things to make them go. Can't do the Alan Rain dance first. Yeah, who wants the Alan Rain dance? Who thought that was a good idea? Who thought the Alan Rain dance was a good idea? Seriously. I don't even understand. I mean, surely people must know bad things at a time. You should ask the writers that named the series. Is it their fault for this STD initials? Yes? Yeah, but if they were clear at the start and said it's, you know, ST disc. I mean, they could have set the precedent straight away. Peter Harris, I'm a long time watcher of you guys. Thank you. I love top 10s. Yeah, they're really fun at the time. But people just didn't watch them enough, and that was a shame, you know. Besides, we did like 30 of them, so 30 or 40 of them, so we did a lot of topics. But yeah, I mean, it took longer to edit than the mission briefing, which might seem odd, but they did. In the end, very little revenue for us, so they weren't worth the time when we have such a fine line of money to... Oh, wait, Stuart is restarting his PC right now, so you're going to vamp with me for just a minute longer. Does anyone see anything cool while they wait? What have I got cool to show? I feel like I got something cool. Have we got anything that coming up in the Trekyards bank that we haven't revealed yet? Yes and no. I'm a looking. Well, this is a good hint, isn't it? World exclusive. World exclusive, guys. Are you ready for a what? Okay, I need like 5 comments saying yes, world exclusive, and I will share this video before Stuart comes back. Are you ready? I want some excitement, and I'll share a world exclusive video from the Trekyards thing. Yeah. At least one person needs to say it. Yes, world exclusive. Okay. You can show your ships from Eagle Moss. I could do. Yes, I forgot that. Hey, everyone's saying world exclusive. Okay, so on my screen, here's a weirdly cropped version of Saladin at Warp. I guess I'll do it properly then, I guess. This is my animation I made for this episode, because I always do extra work on animations. And so there's the Saladin at Warp. Going all zoomy. Look at that. Saladin porn. Well, you know. Could be. There you go. Hey, everyone's saying world exclusive. Nice. How pretty is it, guys? Good Warp effect. Yeah, I know, I love it. So there you go, guys. World exclusive of the Saladin going all zoomy. We can get even closer. Look at that. Oh, it's just all that warp glory. It's good entertainment these days. Thank you, everyone. This looks so weird in front of the... Yeah, it's a bit of a strange one. But yeah, there you go. Bit of a fun thing. It's a good design. It's the most simple kit bash ever sort of design. But it's certainly got some charm for sure. Odd looking ship, but the effects look sweet. Thank you. And I think we got a, yes, £5 super chat from Gareth Fairclough. Thank you so much. Would you rather do an episode on Code of Honor? Hi, by the way. Hi, Gareth. I mean, I think Stuart's trying to play Would You Rather. So the questions could be Would You Rather. I mean, would you guys want to see an episode review on Code of Honor? Would that be interesting? I don't know. Is that interesting? See, I've thought about doing more episode review stuff because, I mean, they did well. They were interesting, but it took a long time to make, like basically a full day to make. And if you imagine there's only 7 days a week and we're going to do a certain amount of content, it just sort of burned through the days very quickly. But we certainly want to do more. If you guys will watch them. It's quite exciting on the screen there. It also is Larson. Maybe. I mean, we need 3D models of them. What? Is that Stuart? What? Oh, hello.
I'm back. I'm back. Yes.
I hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
That was weird. My microphone got unplugged, so I plugged it back in, and you couldn't hear me. It wasn't muted. It's just, sorry guys, I'm back.
Well, I showed.
You saw an animation of the Saladin.
Ah. No, yeah, he knew.
I knew. I know everything. You still hear me?
Yeah. I'm waiting for you to answer a question or something. Because you're back, so you have to come back with the bag.
Well, I got to set up my screen again because it was all screwed up when I restarted my computer.
Okay, I'll keep vamping.
Oh no. Okay. So, did you answer any of the super chats?
Yes, I did. One from Barry. Guys, would you rather CGI or real models? That's a good question. Hi, Barry. What do you think?
A nice mix of both is good. Real models look really impressive, but some CGI touch-ups and things on them would be awesome. Plus, for certain scenes, of course, you need CG. So,
yeah, I'd say if you want maneuverability of ships, go for CG. You want cool turns, cool barrel rolls, the ability to zoom in unlimitedly far is important for CG. Background ships, then you can do digital kit bashing and stuff. But maybe, some close-ups of parts of the saucer, parts of bridges, parts of nacelles, like when 8472 was on the edge of the saucer for Voyager, or the primary hull. If that had been a miniature, that would still hold up today, So I would say use it cleverly, because things like Starship Troopers, still holds up beautifully, because the model work was so fantastic. Obviously Star Wars, the first Star Wars still holds up super well, because of the model work. That's a huge factor. If it looked like cheap secondhand CG, I don't think it would have had the same longevity as everything else.
Good answer. Good answer. I prefer physical models because, like I said, they film really well. They got great detail. Plus,
if you give them the detail, it's worth saying. Because you can have crap models. It's gonna be an expensive movie or show to have good quality models.
Yes,
it's worth saying. Low budget, low quality models, and you want all them good things. But Stuart,
I'm sorry I took off there, guys. It just my computer decided to.
Yeah, I think your computer decided it wanted a little vacation rather than you wanted to go away.
It was another blooper. It had to make up for your wall falling apart.
Yeah, so I was about to say. I think it's very fair. We each have our own demons. Mine is a wall. Yours is a PC.
That's right.
But no super chats really since you've been away, Stuart. It's been a very a chill sesh. Well, why don't you give us a quick brief of why super chats are important and why they're very important, actually.
Super chats are important because we need money. No.
Funding is a better way of saying it.
If you can help us out on a monthly basis by heading over to Patreon, you can do that. Links are in the description of every video. That helps us out immensely because we need to keep this show going, and to do so, we need help, basically, because Google ad revenue isn't always top notch, and lately it's been kind of slacking as far as
40,
views and stuff goes.
50, 40, 60%. It's been a lot.
Yeah. And Gareth Fairclough, would you rather play Would You Rather or do an episode of Code of Honor. Hi, by the way. Hello, Gareth.
That's the one I read, yeah.
Code of Honor.
Do you remember the episode from TNG, the one everyone hates? It's the racist one? African warlords that are stereotypical.
Oh, good God.
Yeah.
I'd rather do a Would You Rather, which is why we're here doing a Would You Rather.
Yeah, that's why I pointed out. I said they're actually doing still do it anyway. So I think Gareth wins either way, really.
Right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Gareth Fairclough again. Ahem. Ahem.
That's the one I saw because we didn't answer his first one.
I
so
did answer it, Gareth. I talked about it. I wrote it out. I read it out and talked about it. Cool. Barry, super chats makes Trekyards go. Can I do? Because if we can earn like 120, 150, 200 bucks from this sort of live, and that allows our week to. Because the thing is, we either need to do videos that generate money that are more, because we've almost never done clickbait. We try and keep that to absolute minimum, but obviously it means we don't benefit from the, oh look, this is brand new news sort of thing. We try and minimize that, which means we miss out on that revenue. We're trying to do content that stands the test of time, but it doesn't necessarily get the views now, and we only get really money at the start of the release cycle. It gets less and less as you go on. So these sorts of lives are super important, because if we can get some amount of money each week for these, and that sort of dribbles back down to all the other shows, makes them all worth a bit more, and then, gives us a baseline, because we need that baseline, otherwise we can't do the show, and then you will lose the show, and then that would be sad for everyone. But I think more for you, because there's thousands of you that watch this. If it just disappeared, it'd be like, oh, well, that was a good 4 years. And
another way to help is to check out our shirt sales. We got the Trekyards pinup shirts. They are available right now, limited time. I will put a link in the chat window here so you guys can check those out. My computer's acting really glitchy, by the way. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
I think you sound great.
Okay, well, my computer's freezing, and you guys are freezing, and then I can't hear anything, and so just bear with me. I'm trying to shut some stuff down and figure it out.
The best he can, considering what he's got to work with.
I don't know why it's doing this either. But
you're not going to respond to that dig? I thought it was quite a good dig. I guess.
It's just a bad day for Alive, I guess. It's just the fates are against us.
Are we dueling against the fates then?
I guess we are.
Also, we got 2 super chats, 3 super chats. Oh my goodness, it's amazing people.
Okay.
You can't see them, can you?
I can't right now because I'm shutting some stuff down.
Tony
I'll be there in a second.
Hi. Which Starfleet manuals? I started so strong there. Which Starfleet manuals do you both fancy? Love the channel, by the way. We love you too, Tony. Which manuals do you fancy?
Which manuals? Like technical manuals?
Yeah. See, the only one I've got
Which
to hand.
Starfleet manuals do you both fancy? Love the show. Okay, I like the Franz Joseph Technical Manual. Obviously, I grew up with that. It's kind of my Bible. But there's also the Starship Dynamics one, which is absolutely awesome. And that's basically like a FASA. I think FASA produced it like at the end of their run, and it was basically an in-world manual that even had the dates from the future as far as printing dates and stuff go. It was really neat.
Yeah, I like I like lots of them, but I quite like the Owner's Guide to the Enterprise, because actually they went ahead and just built 3D models of lots of the individual pieces, which is attention to detail they didn't have to do, but it makes a difference when you do. And there was lots of new renders and such before I knew them well. I got to appreciate them in 3D with this. I mean, come on, that's just cool.
Yeah,
so that's a good manual.
I mean, there's been so many over the years, like the Enterprise Officer's Manual.
In the golden age of Trek,
really go in depth and in detail, which is awesome. So I've got a bunch of them upstairs. I want to start doing captain's logs, talking about specific ones and what I like about them, what I don't like about them. I think that'll really generate some good views for the captain's logs. So that's something you guys can look forward to soon. And yeah, there you go. Hope that helps. Let's see what else we got here. Computer's frozen. All right, Car Galaxy Studios. Here's some dilithium. Any more news on the Star Trek series front? I example, Star Trek Academy. Not that we've heard. I actually missed a super chat.
Yes.
Sorry, not that we've heard. So basically, we're as much in the dark right now as you guys are. So, Samuel, hit that other one that I missed. Would you rather binge Discovery or JJ Verse? JJ Verse.
Ooh. Well, JJ versus is to fix at this point, which is the irony of it, isn't it? And believe me, guys, we will talk to you about new show news when it comes out, and these live formats are really actually cool because they let us talk about breaking news stuff, same day and talk to you directly. So that's a really cool way. And we actually hope for news because it's a fun way of doing it. And do let us know seriously if you'd like us to do like live reviews of movies or show episodes. I think it's gonna be a really fun way of doing it. Especially since I could theoretically have a third screen and do live showing images, because I think it's be the perfect formula for sort of doing it live and discussing and having people's thoughts. I think would be really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Liam Hodgetts, £10 donation. Thank you very much.
Best currency.
Would you rather see a new antagonist to Trek or a return of a previous one? Thanks. Ooh, that's a good question, because in Enterprise, when the Xindi came on board, I was like, ugh, you could have drawn from so many other things, like from FASA, like established races. I'd like to see more interactions with like the Tholians, or more interactions with the Gorn, or any of the other ones we've heard about over the years. So new, but not new. You know what I mean?
Well, it's funny you mentioned Xindi. I'd love to see Xindi again. I think they're a really awesome. They're super fleshed out in their own way, and where they could go from where we left them is literally anywhere. But could you imagine seeing a single ship in the 24th century with a crew that is literally 8 different races all intermingling, and then you see CG characters, live action characters, these different variations? Like, it could be really interesting. They are sort of a legion. You say Xindi, but really there's 7 variations where they're radically different, but they're all the same, base thing. Tholians are always a good option. I think they're probably quite a limited species unless you sort of radically change them, because what we know of them is so minimal. But if you just said, right, no, this season we're fleshing out Tholians, that could be really cool. I mean, I know Stowe's done a lot of stuff with them, but they have to do a lot of stuff on the gameplay side rather than a story side. So like, they need 8 types of warrior drones. Well, okay, and tactical armor. It's like, well, okay, things that you wouldn't have in the same way for a narrative. That's a great question.
It is a good question.
I
said, even just hearing more from the Starfleet battles races, like the Kzinti or the Hydrons or the Lyrans or the Interstellar Concordium or the Andromedans. I mean, there's so many choices out there that are already established, history's made for them, and things like that.
Yeah, but that doesn't give the producers any freedom. Producers, unless they just take the name and change it.
Oh, they're going to screw with it anyway, because they screw with visual canon, so they'll just change it as they want.
So do you really want them to mess with your old stuff?
Something that we're familiar with.
Wouldn't you rather them wouldn't you rather them invent something new than ruin something old? It's like I'd rather the same team not do TNG, because they'll ruin TNG. They will ruin TNG. Absolutely, they've ruined pre-Discovery, pre-Enterprise, pre-TOS. But I'd rather them stay away from it unless they're going to do a good job, and that team will not do a good job. So hopefully it's a different team. Hopefully.
Yeah, maybe. It is a good point. You don't want them to ruin something that we care about.
Like Star Wars. Yeah. We now know Luke Skywalker's fate, and it's shitty. What a coward. He was the chosen one. Sort of. But I like movies when they haven't got antagonists. Like we rewatched Star Trek: The Motion Picture with commentary, and it was nice to have a story where Voyager is a force, but you shouldn't call it an antagonist. It's maybe a foil, but that's still pushing. It's just a force to consider in the movie. Khan's obviously an antagonist. Well, he's a villain, but he's an antagonist in his own head. The Whale Probe again wouldn't call it an antagonist, call it the negative force of the movie. And those are really interesting movies. Have them explore something, have them whatever. I mean, the insurrection could have been even more interesting in a sense if the story was just about the planet and what the planet was like and what the planet did to them. And could you imagine if the story was, rather than having raffle and stuff, have it be that the more time you spent on this planet, the more young and impetuous you got, and then the crew formed sides and then had this little civil war among themselves? That would have been kind of interesting. Weird, but Yeah. Yeah.
John Yasuda, $10. Thank you. One nacelle
Thank you.
just looks wrong. Keep up the great work, guys. Well, I disagree because I grew up with the technical manual, and I think it looks fantastic.
Well, okay, go into why.
Because it's part of a cohesive fleet, and they use parts that are readily available to create different ships for different purposes. I mean, it makes sense in a real world, scheme of things.
Yes, I mean it does have a certain sleekness. Like I obviously Saladin, we saw Saladin, just sort of like just it's like a rudder in the water, just like zzz, cuts through the warp, the air. It's how I sort of see one of cells.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that why I like them?
Because you cut through the water?
Well,
I don't know, maybe.
I don't know. It's a neat take on the designs of Star Trek. I don't know.
Well,
I just like them.
I mean,
it's like I like 3 nacelle. I prefer 3 nacelle designs.
Have you seen all of the Eagle Moss Wolf 359 ships then? Because there's a 3, a 2, a 4, a 1. I mean, do you really like the 1 nacelle? Wolf 359.
I don't.
But it is literally a galaxy saucer with. I mean, that surely is the epitome of what you want as well. It's very faithful and it actually more.
It's ugly. Yeah, that one I can't stand. So I know what you mean by not being able to stand them. I
didn't. I wasn't me. I'm fine with them. That was the other guy.
Yeah. No one special. $2.
Yes,
just
sir.
Because
you are
no
special.
Not number 1 special. No one special. There we go.
Or is number 1 special to him?
Well, you're donating money, so you are number 1, and you're special to us. There you go.
Even 91 cents is special.
Shahira Kabir. Sorry, don't.
I love not being the guys to say the names.
$2.
Brilliant.
Would you rather want a Star Trek movie by Tarantino or James Cameron?
Cameron is an absolute monster genius. I love that man. He has not made a bad movie. He hasn't. Sorry, that was a very strong answer. I just love James Cameron, even though he's hard to work with. His quality cannot be denied. What he comes out with,
Some of the best people are hard to work with. Samuel's a pain in the ass to work with, but yeah, here we are, still almost.
I thought you were something fun there, and he went straight for the mean. I was thinking, what was he gonna say? That. Oh. Okay.
Just kidding. Cool. Love you.
Are you really? No.
I do. Conservative Russian sent $20. That's not very conservative. That's
awesome though. Wow.
Love the stream and channel. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you. We love you, and we will continue to keep up the great work. But the super chats, like we said, it really help with that. Yes. So does Patreon. So does donating at trekyards.com.
Yep.
Even if you can't donate financially, just clicking the links in our descriptions, like to the Eagle Moss site to check out their stuff. That helps us. To share the videos, that helps us. To hit like, to watch the episodes all the way to the end, to help the analytics, bump us up in the YouTube analytics and stuff like that. That all helps. So you guys can help us on multiple levels. Gareth, £5. Cameron has never made a good movie. Fight me. Dun, dun, dun,
I mean,
dun. Go.
What are you on about? What are you on about? I mean, Terminator 2 is one of the best movies of all time. Are you kidding? I mean, Aliens is probably one of the top 5 of all time.
I think he's just trying to get.
I know, but
I think he actually believes it.
I mean, are not Terminator 2 and Aliens in the top 10 films of all time? Because they're basically perfect movies.
Perfect sci-fi, yeah.
Yeah, so if you count among the what sci-fi? That's a good question. What sci-fi movies are better than either of those? Or would you rank higher?
Star Trek 2, Wrath of Khan.
No. In that same top 10, but no, I'd say both are quite a lot better. Better performances for the most part.
The Day the Earth Stood Still, the original one.
I haven't seen that one. I saw the new one. Didn't like it very much.
Well, yeah, it's not.
It was weird.
David Bessick, $5.
That.
Question: how come no ships have side-facing photon torpedo launchers? But they do. In the world of FASA, the Andor class missile boat, which is a torpedo gunboat, basically has sideways firing photon torpedoes. So but you gotta follow the FASA
David, the Akira class has side-facing photon torpedo tubes.
It does.
What are you on about?
And that's a cannon ship. Okay,
Stuart, another question then. Okay, Star Wars New Hope, or Empire, or Aliens or Terminator 2.
Say that again.
So, okay, Star Wars New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, how do they compare then to Aliens and Terminator 2?
They're far superior products.
Really?
Yeah, they're both way better epic tales that are much more enjoyable to watch. Don't get me wrong, I love Aliens and I love Terminator 2, but if I had a choice, I'd rather watch. Here's a would you rather?
Yeah.
I'd rather watch A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back. If I could only watch those movies till the end of time, those would be them. I wouldn't pick Terminator
more hopeful.
or Aliens.
New Hope is a classic story. Like, if you watch Aliens is a bit more fun than Terminator 2. Terminator 2 is a very dark film, but it's pitch perfect for what it is. Aliens, I think, is a lot. You wouldn't be happy if you kept watching those films again and again and again. But there's so many little moments that New Hope doesn't have as much of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What about Star Trek 09 or Aliens? Or
yeah. Well, that's obvious, right?
What about Matrix versus those two?
Gustav. Yeah, I'm not going to try to say the last name. $5, thank you. Which arc season from STO would you most want to see as a series? Well, that's the temporal agent one, of course.
Yeah, the fact they had Chekhov in it was great. I love the Twice J loop. That was really fun. I don't know if you played, but I played all the early content like 3 times. And it's like, they're fine, they're good, but then again, a lot of it's like driven by the gunplay. You know, you kill more people in STO than you've ever done anywhere ever. You know, that ships you blow up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, Barry said Titanic and Avatar are yawn. I disagree. I think Titanic's a superb masterpiece of general cinema, and I really enjoyed Avatar. I thought it was like 3 times the cinema, which I've never done before, and its 3D was exceptional, and you get so into the zone of the film, so I really enjoyed it. Yeah, Inception's good too.
Yeah,
Forgive Samuel, he's in a
I really enjoyed Titanic, but I was a Titanic fan of the history of Titanic for a long time, so to see it come alive was awesome. So
someone just insulted me. Forgive Samuel, he's in the Star Wars prequel generation. No, I saw all the original 3 first, so no. I was in the normal generation, and I saw the other ones after the fact, and think of them as I should do, with them being less products. But I do enjoy them more than Last Jedi by a long way. All 3 are better than Last Jedi. Not necessarily visually, but in everything else that matters. So I'd rather watch politics than rape of a character.
Jesus. Yeah. Luke 9511 $4.99. What class of ship would you like to have seen for Kirk and crew in the movies rather than the Constitution class? Not the Excelsior. That's one of the reasons I don't like the Excelsior, I think, because I didn't want it to replace the refit Enterprise, and I'm glad I didn't, even though it did in the comics. See, are you talking cannon ships, or are you talking like side cannon, like FASA or something?
I assume it means cannon because everyone knows what it is. You know,
I'd like to see them in Ascension class dreadnought, the refit dreadnought. That'd be cool.
Don't think that's canon, but which one's that?
Well, there's the Federation class refit, which has the straight pylons, and then there's the Ascension class, which has the angled pylons down.
It's not very elegant, though. Doesn't need to be. It's got torpedo launchers. For me, I always thought... well, you're asking me now, but I would have thought... Give him a... Because Kirk's getting older, what would he's not going to look for battle. He'd look for more adventure and more exploration. So give him a smaller, but more maneuverable ship. You know, just a tad. Give him a more state-of-the-art explorer. I think would be more interesting than a huge Excelsior. So almost like a light cruiser maybe, or something. Sorry to go back to movies, but Back to the Future and Matrix. Do you think those are both better than Terminator and Aliens, aren't they? Or those two? Because Back to the Future is also pretty much perfect.
Yeah. What was the other one? Back to the Future
Matrix.
And Matrix.
That's pretty perfect as well.
Matrix was fantastic, but they wrote themselves into a corner and kind of screwed it up with the other two.
That's why I didn't say Matrix franchise. Yeah. I mean, I liked some of the stuff. I liked a lot of the stuff in the other ones. There's just a lot of stuff that's just wrong.
Josh Knoll,
Oh.
$5 Canadian, a fellow Canadian.
Stuart's guards.
Would you rather a Trek series take place in the 25th century or the 31st? Maybe about the time ship relativity. I would love to see a series about the relativity or the time police, basically.
Yep.
Jumping through different points in the Federation history, seeing different eras of ships, and that would be a fantastic series, but it would be very hard to do. That'd be a good animated series. Good CG animated series would be really neat. Kind of see different eras, and you don't have to worry about building the set pieces and stuff. It's just the voice actors. That would work very well, I think.
I mean, there's a. I assume have you heard of Legends of Tomorrow, the DC TV show?
Yes.
Yeah, and the Flash, Arrow, universe, Supergirl universe. So that's a weird show because the other ones are dark. Well, Arrow's a dark, gritty, as you know, arrow wielding maniac killing people in a city, sort of. Flash is a superhero, more light-hearted, sci-fi based. Legends, the time travel show where they get recruited by a guy from the future to do time traveling things. So every single episode they go to a new timeline, new period. Everything is a period piece. They go to dinosaurs, they go to westerns, they go to Titanic sort of stuff. It's really good, and it's a really high budget show. So much so that all the other shows have 24 episode seasons. Legends have the same budget as 12 episodes.
Yeah.
But you get each episode fully realised. They do a very, very good job doing it. And it's doable. I mean, it is. And I would almost say period stuff is harder. I mean, if you have to get perfectly accurate 15th century dresses and six shooters and set design, or just rebuild your 1990s TNG sets that would build, you know. I mean, I would assume one would be cheaper than the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Gareth Fairclough had a great idea, a series where the relativity goes all quantum leap, and they have to go and they have to jump through different timelines, etc., to get home. What would be even better is now have that series, but instead of you'd have to set all the timelines right, like the Kelvin verse and the disco verse, and you got to set all that stuff right in order to fix the prime timeline, and that's the whole purpose of the show. That would pull a lot of fans in.
So you make the humongous multiverse of Trek a thing.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And that's the thing, Quantum Leap was a really good show. It was obviously very... Which shows you can also do period piece each time. You know, obviously that was a little bit different, but...
Somebody said I just described Sliders. I've never watched Sliders, but yeah,
yes.
I've heard the premise. I didn't even think about that as I was talking, but...
Legends is... Huh? Barry said Legends is 24 episodes per season. Oh.
Yeah.
It wasn't the start.
Yeah, I don't know what else to... Guys, you want a Trekyards shirt? I'll put a link in the comment section. Sorry, my mind's drawing a blank. My computer keeps freezing, and it's like I'm not sure if I'm here or not.
Well, no, it's in okay. I was
frozen on screen, and I can't hear you.
It was 16.
You're muffled a little bit. When you talk,
sorry.
So it's...
No, I was half right. It's 16 episodes in the first season, 17 in the second season, 18 in the third season. So it's less than the full show, but not 12. But you know, but one has to be the crossover, so it's not a full episode anyway. Yeah, so 23 down to 18 is still 5 of budget. So yeah, still what I said, just less dramatic. Never heard of Sliders? Isn't that a burger? Yes. I really enjoyed Sliders at the time. I want to see that again. Huh. Dan 23. Star Trek Timelines is an app game. Not the best game though. Not the best.
No, it's got some interesting aspects. Like I love rotating around my ships, but that's about it.
And that's the least game bit of it. So it's nothing to do with the game itself. Yeah, when I played it, I remember I didn't get a doctor when I started the game. I didn't get any of the packs I got, so I literally couldn't progress in the story because I just didn't get a doctor. So I had to go back and replay the old ones, but try and do them better. But because I already wasn't very good at the game, I couldn't do any better. And so I hit a brick wall like 3 levels in. I'm like, oh. And this wasn't even fun to get to 3 levels.
Yeah. Nothing sucks more than hitting a brick wall in a game and just going like, I give up.
Especially when it's their fault.
Yes.
Oh, well.
So, would you rather?
Yes.
Let me think of a good question. I should have had some written down.
But they don't have to be Star Trek. Or
They have to be Star Trek, you said? Or
no, do they or do they not? I guess Star Trek for now.
Hmm. Would you rather spend your whole life being able to watch Star Trek 2009 or Star Trek Insurrection?
Honestly, that's difficult because Insurrection you would get bored of very quickly, but you'd enjoy it more. But '09 you could constantly get more and more angry about as you see the stupidity. So you can actively hate it the more you go. So, you know, they play drinking games on how shitty the lines are, bad character moments, bad CG. Every time you see R2-D2, you could just take a shot and just drown yourself. So I think just because it's so much worse, '09.
That's interesting. Never would have thought that.
Which one for you? Which one for you? Come on, answer the hard questions, Stuart.
2009 because it's modern graphics and it's fun to pick it apart. I just find more things to like hate, I guess.
Yep.
I don't want to see the beloved TNG be butchered. Basically, the Insurrection's a really long episode of TNG and not a very great episode at that. So,
I think problem in Insurrections they focus on slightly the wrong things, and the art design is a bit weak. Having every single Baku being mauve isn't very interesting, and the whole premise again. Obviously, we all watch a lot of reviews on these things, but having a civilization that got there via space travel, they're only all still alive because of space travel to get into this random alien planet. And they're using technology to make metal and to make clothes, because they didn't hand weave all those clothes. They're too good, because, you know, modern technology made them, so they can't be, you know. And now they're shunning technology, and yet they can also see what's wrong with Data's brain. So they had to have technology to see that. So they're a bit hypocritically written. I mean, I did my whole university dissertation on this, but I mean, I hope you'll agree. But you know, the idea of actually having, yeah, ooh. Ooh. I don't want to keep talking because it's so pretty, sort of. The next one then, Stuart. I mean,
you cut out. I couldn't hear you there, so
I was
playing with my mom.
Oh, okay. I was saying, I mean, Insurrection, the whole moral question of is it okay to let 120 people, whatever, live on a planet to stop literally trillions, thousands of trillions of lives, all the people that died of the Dominion War after that? Was Picard right to let 120 people who could easily, you know, not be moved and not be killed and not be affected? Because Rafal's plan's wrong, but you could easily harness the metaphasic radiation, just not all of it, and you could easily bring people to a planet, not all of it, because they take up a few miles of a huge planet. I mean, is Picard not wrong? Because 150 lives does not justify 1,000 trillion.
That's one of the age-old questions of a lot of episodes is, you know, the good of the one versus the goods of the many.
Yeah, but when you're not going to hurt the few, it's like it's them being selfish of a planet they don't own, an advantage they didn't even know they were going to get. And yes, you're out of focus. Do you want to do a manual focus thing?
If I can,
wherever that button is. I just think when you watch that movie more and more, you're like, damn, he really made the wrong choice. Like, again, Rafal's wrong, but he's wrong too. He's fighting the right fight, but as soon as it's all finished, they say, right, cool. Now let's bring people who have lost their limbs in the Dominion War. Let's get Nog on this planet because his leg might regenerate in a couple of months. You know, I just see it as every person that's died because, you know, who could have been saved by the Baku. There you go. Everyone that could have been saved by the Bakus. That's 100% Picard's fault. They didn't send him there. Like, there's no one else to blame. He made the decision to do that. Otherwise, it would have been saved. Now, the universe doesn't need unlimited people. It can't have them. But it's like, was your fault they died, Picard? I mean, do you think you know, the daughter of a whatever? So yeah, well, yeah, my daughter can die. That's fine because 120 people have a home that isn't meant to be theirs. You know, a hospital.
They're not easy answers to answer.
But just one hospital, like one hospital on an alien planet that might have like 10,000 people, and you can say, right, 7,000 people here could be saved by this radiation, but as long as 120 people are fine, Sorry, guys, you're all gonna die. Like, there is a point where numbers game is fine. 1,000 trillion versus 120. There is literally no question. Like I said, I did my dissertation on this, so I really went in deep. It's just the wrong moral. They could have easily written that right. Like, Waterfall's plan's wrong. We have to stop him. That's the way, but not, Yeah.
Yeah. Nova Prime, £5.
Hey.
Would you rather star in a Star Trek show or film, or write a Star Trek episode or film?
That's a really interesting question. Stuart, you first.
Write them, because we could write them properly and just do things right. However, I'm a bit of a narcissistic whore and like looking at myself, so I'd want to star in one.
Narcissistic whore. That's fun. Yeah, I would say right, 100%. I can't act to save my life. Maybe to save my life, but it'd be acting as me. Yeah, right. I could do a really good story. And I'm trying to do one with Convergence, a Star Trek fan film. Thumbs up.
Nice segue.
Thank you.
I knew that was going to happen when that question came up.
I hoped. Megan Doyle. I'm going to a Star Trek convention in October. I can't wait. Have you ever been to one? I've been to many conventions of Star Trek people, and many conventions in general. Been to Vegas once. Going to go again. We're both going to go again hopefully this coming year. And I'm going to one in October as well in London, or in Birmingham I should say. So see you there if you want to come say hi. If you want.
Speaking of, I got to get over there to England sometime to do some stuff. Hang out with the commanders, go to a convention over there. That'd be fun. But I don't know when that's going to happen.
It's not my fault. This year has gone by crazy fast.
Really, I can't believe it's September already. I was just saying that earlier today.
And when you're planning stuff ahead, I'm already planning the end of the year. So for me, there is no more of the year left because things have to be planned in advance. It's weird. It's weird. But I'm excited because this year's been a very sort of not subdued Trekyards year, but like it's been more about other things. I can see next year like doing more trips and whatever being a good focus.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, if these
Fairclough
lives
said Stuart must see Excelsior Road in Cardiff. He'd love it. Is it ugly?
Boo, boo, boo.
Or is the Enterprise B refit road better? Probably.
Oh, George Alexander. You're both way too harsh on the 2009 film. It's a fine film. I enjoyed it. I've been a major Trek fan since 1975. Stuart, your thought?
It's a great summer popcorn action adventure film. It's just not a great Star Trek film. That's my summation. It's a great action film. It's fun to watch if you just want to turn your brain off and do action. But as far as someone that really loves and respects Star Trek, I mean, I'm not trying to insult anybody, but I just don't see it as a great Star Trek film. There's too many plot holes, too many scientific weirdness and anomalies and just mistakes that it just doesn't work. I mean, the fact that it has Leonard Nimoy in it is like one of its only saving graces that really ties it with the Prime universe in some kind of degree. I think without that, it'd be much more easy to dismiss, in my opinion anyway. But it is a fun movie. I do understand that people enjoy watching it, and it's a fun action flick.
There's a problem with films when you can do a list of problems that is over 2 pages long. Especially when most of them are scriptural and planning. When they're actively making mistakes that should have been removed in the second draft, it shows that non-Trek fans that really get it wrote it. As soon as you do that, then you start wondering, well, okay, the non-Trek director then made influences in the CG and the costumes and things that shouldn't have been done. It's just a lazy film in many ways, and it's very forgettable, I find. It's a film like Into Darkness is going to just be, go opaque and not be thought of in 5 years. Like, it's a nothing film beyond its slight controversy of it stole everything else. 09 is only a
lot of non-Star Trek fans like Into Darkness though.
Well, I like it more to 09 because it's an interesting take on how do you do the opposite to Wrath of Khan, I think. Plus I like the White Khan because he's interesting. Who's a whole better as John Harrison. That would have been better.
Benedict Cumberbatch is a great villain, but he's just not a great Khan. That's all.
No, he's a better John Harrison. But 09, if you took out it's the first one of the reboot, you would forget it existed because it's just not very interesting. Even though they destroyed Vulcan and stuff.
Yeah, there's like one or two memorable moments, but yeah, even trying to remember back as to what the flow of the movie is, I've watched it enough because I saw it like 7 times in theaters, even though I didn't know that I didn't like it. It was just so impressive to see Star Trek on the big screen, and then I started seeing all the issues with it each time, and I'm like, oh my god. But yeah, the flow of the movie, you really have to. I had to think hard as to how it progresses because it is kind of forgettable.
And
There are great moments that stand out. As soon as I think 2009, I think of certain scenes, like just a flash in my head. But
and then you straight away remember like the weird pacing. Like he becomes captain within 2 minutes of taking the ship. A cadet. Anyone on the bridge should take him down and say no. A cadet with no experience should not be in command of a brand new starship.
Any of the department heads aboard the ship, anywhere, no matter where they are, they're department heads. They should be the next in command.
It's just stupidly written. I like smartly written films. Like I just watched Mission Impossible 7 today, or 6, the new one. It's actually pretty smartly written. It's getting 97% on Rotten Tomato. Deserved. It's a very good film. It's smartly written. Smartly written is good. Mm-hmm. That's why I like Star Trek Beyond. It's much smarterly written, and they use the money better. You know.
Yeah. I do enjoy Beyond, even though it's got the worst Enterprise. I mean, even the 2009 Enterprise is much better than that banana strut looking thing in that movie.
But you liked their version A more.
The A was nice at the end. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more of that. Should there be another movie? But yeah,
or
it shouldn't have been called the A, but that's just a nitpick thing.
Oh, why shouldn't it have been the
A?
Why shouldn't it have been the A?
Because the only reason the Enterprise got the A designation was because it had such an important career as a ship. Completed its 5-year mission. It was the only one of the 12 constitutions to come back from those missions, and then it got refitted because in honor of the ship, it got refitted instead of being decommissioned. So they experimented with the new experimental refit stuff on that ship, and that also why Starfleet took on the Delta as in honor of the ship. So it became the flagship. So when the flagship got destroyed in Star Trek 3, to honor the flagship and the crew and its historic history, they made it the A. Not every other ship gets destroyed and has
any other ship
has an A designation. Like look at the Defiant. It went missing.
Should have had
the Defiant and DS9's a totally different ship.
Oh well, yeah.
So it shouldn't have. They didn't have enough of a historic career.
But things
they're in season 3 of the.
Yeah, but also it started earlier. I mean, Kirk took command as a cadet, literally at the end of the first film. Then he had a couple of years, and then a darkness happened, and another couple of years. I mean, he had a good 5 or 6 years in command, and with
They didn't even go on their 5-year mission. They were staying close to Earth. They said, "Now we're finally going to be exploring." Ta-da! We're starting our 5-year mission.
But you can still do really cool. I mean,
they haven't done anything to warrant getting an A.
Well, no, you cannot say that because you don't know anything that happened in between because they haven't gone into it. So you have to assume that they did cool things. And also you got to think that they have more advanced technology earlier, bigger ships, more crew, more confidence because they did cool things in whatever. So I can imagine they maybe did more in a short amount of time. And maybe Spock telling them about the future a little bit. Maybe he said a little bit to the admirals about the Enterprise, how important it was. That could have balanced that. And obviously, you think about how they saved the most important space station in the Federation. That might have garnered that as well. And in that timeline, because of the amount of ships that got blown up around Vulcan, maybe they had the A mod to come first for another ship, and then they got another A. So I think
I don't buy it.
I think that's pretty easy to. It's not got the same thought, but again, that was never in canon. So it's like, well, that's the really cool extra bonus side stuff. I mean, was that a Franz Joseph invention, or was that someone else?
What
the story behind the A?
Oh, that was just through the novels and stuff.
Oh, so it's just a random writer that just came up with a cool story. That's cool.
No, but it was carried on through different writers and different.
But you know what I mean? Like, that was
I don't know who initially came up with that.
Yeah,
but it's just the lore that's been built up over time. I think a lot of it's from FASA as well. But yeah. Mr. Ray Romantico, $5. You guys do a great podcast. Keep it up. Well, thank you. Yeah, we always have great discussions like this one. It's, for example, talking about the A. I think is an interesting discussion. So
it's really unusual, but I'm getting more used to it to go free flow.
Yeah,
because we have very
Damien
focused
Howe, £1.99. Would you
Cool,
rather
thank you.
lose Trek or carry on with Star Trek Discovery? You almost made me say STD.
Yeah, I don't like saying it.
Would you rather lose Trek? Well, we can't lose Trek. It's all there to watch. It's not like if they make a bad season of Star Trek Discovery, that
Which
one
they
of the
did.
original season or the original series seasons disappears from history.
Well, no, unless they
It's not
retcon it, then it would. But
So I'd rather them carry on with Star Trek Discovery and fix things and do the best they can and have another avenue for fans to get brought into Star Trek. Some people like Star Trek Discovery. If they like it, if that's your cup of tea, have them go after it, watch it. And yeah, but
I mean, in fairness, we got for all of Trek, apart from TOS, but that was they didn't know they were going to get a second season. So they went full on for the first season. We had to go through the mediocre TNG season 1 to get the good season, better season 2, better season 3. We had to go through the very vanilla Enterprise to get the better season 3, really, really good season 4. We had to go through
Deep Space Nine,
DS9, and Voyager. Like you have to, even so much as we have to go through the bad in 09 and Darkness to get the cool Beyond, which I to say is a decent Star Trek film. They are all allowed a zone of we failed a bit, because you're testing the waters, you're seeing. This is why you retool shows. This is why you change the vibe. The only problem being that when you have the license and the backing of the heads of the government, of the guys that own the franchise, when they can make unilateral changes to the entire fabric of the Trek universe, without really appreciating the damage it does to the wider universe of Trek and the fan base. Enterprise didn't do that. It was so far back, they thought it through. It was changed, but you could easily justify it all because of the time and because of what happens later. Very careful with that. Discovery, you can't form as anything. But they can actively fix what they've done, and that's the great hope you'll have. Then season 2 can have a better tone, a better vibe, better written, better plot developments. We can bring in the proper kind of stuff. We can subdue other things, make it make more sense. I mean, as they promised in first season 1, by the end of season 1 it'll adhere to canon. Bit of a lie, whatever. Brian Fuller left, they didn't know. And then by the end of season 2 it'll adhere to canon. Probably won't, probably not a lie. But by the time they get fired and we get season 6, when it's only like 18 months before the original series, they'll suddenly the original series, but updated as we keep asking. Because I mean, I don't think either of us, and people, I hate that accuse us of saying we just want the 60s look. Like, that's not true. That's not specifically true.
Well, Ralph Barrett in the comments makes an interesting point. He says JJ toys are not selling, TOS toys are another story. It's absolutely true. And if you guys don't hate JJ Abrams by now, you want to hear a story that'll make you hate him, here we go. When they started making their deal when Bad Robot started making their deal about Trek merchandise, JJ wanted all TOS merchandise to stop being sold so that it didn't get confused with his franchise, with his version of Star Trek. And CBS basically told him to screw himself, because that's their bread and butter. They make a lot of money on the merchandising. Do they merchandise properly? No. They need to open up some more avenues for that, because there's lots of stuff that I would personally buy. But JJ wanted it shut down. They didn't want to be selling TOS toys. He wanted just his stuff out there so it didn't get confused. People that didn't know the franchise wouldn't get confused and buy the wrong Enterprise. They wanted to buy his Enterprise. And that's another reason for the different color scheme and stuff, to set it apart and make it completely unique. And CBS shut him down. They said, no, that's just silly. We're not doing that. Because Star Trek is a big moneymaker for CBS as far as merchandising goes. And I buy TOS stuff out the wazoo. So there's an interesting little nugget of information. Look it up, guys. Read the story yourself.
And you
JJ
wonder why
was a monster.
And you wonder why we assert he has little respect for Star Trek. Because he has little respect for Star Trek. I mean, the writing's on the wall. You don't say, right, guys, let's abandon 50 years because my shiny Apple store is better, despite surely knowing full well it's a lazy script that is fun but shallow as anything. It's just disrespect, and it comes across in the film. Whereas Star Wars: The Force Awakens, thoroughly respectful. amazingly respectful, almost too respectful. And it's like, wow, that was a fan-made of movie, and yet he destroyed Star Trek a bit. And then as soon as Simon Pegg wrote Beyond, a Star Trek fan wrote a Star Trek movie, and even the director was a fan of Star Trek. You feel that. You feel it in the tone of the movie. That first 15 minutes of Beyond is Star Trek. Is actually Star Trek, Doesn't take much, guys. Doesn't take much.
Yeah. Luke 9511, $4.99.
Thank you.
Have a good day, Captain and Commander. This is Captain Ron, USS Saratoga, signing off.
Thank you, Luke.
See you later.
Have a good rest of the day.
Captain Ron.
The evening, then the end of the day is over. It's already 10:15 for me, so.
Somebody said Captain Foley is my hero. You got to get out more, man. Damn.
Well, you fight for
Disco Stew. See, I'm not wearing it for Discovery. I'm wearing it because it's Disco and I'm Stew. Disco Stew. It's just.
Well, no, I think just like Tron, Stuart, you fight for the users. You fight for the TOS. Just to reiterate, I mean, I don't think either of us want the literal 1960s TOS style. How would you do it? If you were given the keys to the castle, how would you show TOS now? Or should I say, show the 2240s, 50s now?
2260s.
That.
Oh, you mean for Discovery?
Yeah. Well, no, just for any show. Like it's not necessarily showing the 60s, because obviously that's 50 years old. But how would you show? Because Star Trek is a period piece. It's a certain point in a certain time of this fictional universe. It's not something that you can just rejigger for the sake of it because lol, why not? I hate Star Trek. How would you take the challenge of making the 22 whatevers look appropriate? What would be your take on that?
Oh, we've had this discussion many, many times. I mean, they did such a fantastic job in A Mirror Darkly on Enterprise, making that TOS bridge of the Defiant look fantastic with the proper lighting, with modern day, filming techniques. You said this before too. Modern day filming techniques, modern day lighting. You can make those sets look fantastic. And even when they added, the corridor with like the primary colors, as part of the ship you never saw on the Enterprise, it looked fantastic. It looked good. You can update things. And like I've said all along with the bridge consoles, have little floating holographic buttons that are red and look exactly like the old ones. Square buttons are round, but they're holographic buttons that, are tactile that you can touch. And when the computer shuts down, it just goes black surface. But then when they turn back on, they raise up. They're in the same configuration as the original Enterprise. They look the same from a distance, but you get up close, and with modern, updated look and updated tech for the TOS Enterprise, but still with the original look, that could be, what we were seeing in the '60s. Just because it was such, not as good quality, we couldn't tell what it was. So you can have those floating holographic buttons just as far above the console that you can actually are tactile and you can touch. And I think that'd be a great update, something like that, as simple as that, or the lighting and filming techniques, as you have said before. There's many ways to do it, and that's how I would approach it.
Yeah.
Treat it with respect. It's like making a Western and having floating horses with no legs, because we don't like the horses that they had back then. We got new advanced horses in the future when they make a future Western or a Western. You can't do that. You can't change things that are a period piece unless you call it steampunk, and then it's steampunk, it's its own thing, it's an advanced look at the past, but that's got its own unique name. It's called steampunk, but don't call it prime and make it look different.
Yes,
I'm babbling, sorry.
No, it's fine. I think it's a more interesting challenge to update TOS to a modern era, because that would be fun, taking the basic layout and saying, right, this is what it has to look like. Okay, maybe we could increase it by 10%, because you won't see 10% on screen. Gives you 10% more movement. Maybe make the add a bit more 3D levels to it. Maybe add light panels in the floor. Add some grating for texture. Make the panels all touchscreen. Wouldn't it be cool if Spock could, whoever was in it, could push a physical touchscreen on the top part of the monitor and then swipe it over to Spock, to Sulu, or to Scotty. you know, just swipe. He takes it, presses some buttons, moves on his console, like, and we would say that's really cool. It's wrong, but it's really cool. Like, it would be a nice iteration on the theme. So wow, this is really advanced for the time, you know, taking it that whatever, and the captain's chair. The buttons are all hologram. You know, you could go as far as you want, but just take that basic raw frame of the sets and then just change everything within them. Same colors, same vibe, better lighting.
Well, and to be honest, James Cawley's kind of updated that in that way. If you look at the monitors above his stations with the modern graphics, like they look 1960s, but they're moving. They've got little data information popping up, stuff that was missing from the original 60s stuff. That's a nice subtle upgrade that still looks very original and would make sense in that context. So, if you've been to Ticonderoga and you've seen that bridge set, you know what I'm talking about. It's a nice update, and something I've said all along ever since I was a kid. That would be cool if those monitors, did stuff and didn't look like, paper. But that's what they were working with at the time, and they couldn't pay the projectionist because they needed a projectionist behind each one if they wanted them moving. That's why in the cage they're all moving and doing different things because it was a pilot, and they could afford to have those people, the union people, back there doing the projection stuff. Now with modern technology and LEDs, you can have whatever you want up there and have it look like the 60s stuff, but more upgraded with, moving text and stuff. So,
yeah, I'm gonna read the comments for people what we just talked about. Yeah.
Yeah. What is your favorite Eagle Moss models? Samuel, you got more Eagle Moss model favorites.
What are my favorites?
Yeah.
Let me look.
That's a rough question.
It is. Well, there are no super chats in a little while. Do you want to reiterate why they're important? Because they're important. They're important.
What? I didn't hear the first part of that.
Do you want to just reiterate super chats?
My audio is awful on this hangout. Right. So
we haven't had any super chats for a while. Do you want to reiterate why super chats are important? Because they are.
Super chats are important so we can see your message because there's a whole bunch flying by, and we don't. If you want to ask us a direct question or whatever, plus they help the channel. They help us create the content, and yeah. It's important because Google ad revenue is sometimes really slow, and it's been a bad couple of months leading up to this. So, anything you can do to help out the show would be greatly appreciated. So
I'm going down the list, and the Deredex was very good. I liked that as a miniature. I like Defiant. It was a good miniature. I like Equinox. On mine cell broke. The E was good. I was looking forward to the E for a long time. It was very small, but it's good. They knew they had to go on right because it was the last big enterprise. The Indian Insectoid Warship is very big, very nice quality. That one's surprisingly good considering how, not important it is theoretically, but it's that's very cool. Delta Flyer is fun, and that's as far as I'll tease.
Cool. Yeah, I like some of the XL models. The thing on Battlecruiser from 2009 was a fantastic model.
I have all those over here. I really want to see it in
Gareth,
3D at some point.
very close, and another 5 pounds. Very important, yes. Also, would you rather Nurse Chapel in a disco uniform or Lieutenant Dietmar in a TOS uniform? Who's Lieutenant Dietmar?
She's the woman with the cybernetic, I guess. I just searched it. Wow, that didn't come through at all in the show. Well, she has no character, so I mean...
TOS uniforms all the way.
So Dietmar.
No one special, $2 because it's impotent.
Impotent.
He didn't put important. He put impotent.
Why does Dietmar have to wear anything? Because we're a proper, civilized, organized. You can on the holodeck. It's fine.
Right.
So would you rather's, guys? That's the base thing. If you ask any would you rather's in the Trek world, these are some pretty good ones. Do let us know. Yeah, it's hard.
I would love some good would you rather questions because there's some really awesome ideas out there.
A $1 super chat will answer whatever would you rather. That's a bad thing to say, but maybe. It's a bit warm. It's a bit warm today. It's kind of like draining me a little bit.
Yeah, me too. I yeah.
The Eagle Moss doing Dominion ships. They've done them all except one, and I can tell you that they will be doing the Dominion battle cruiser. There's actually 2 Dominion cruisers if you look, because they made a miniature first and then a 3D version, and they're slightly different. But I kind of like the first one more, which is weird because they're subtly different. Cool design though. John's a great. I really like John's canon stuff. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he was doing Winner every week. He was given a lot more freedom. I remember I've been reading his Discovery stuff in the Eagle Moss, and he was doing, they were getting no changes, no, alter this, like, constantly. So at some point your creativity just gets burned out, because all you're doing is just, you come up with the shape, they give you a checklist, you do it, they ask for more things, and you just don't care by the 7th draft. Why should you in the same way? Whereas with Enterprise and stuff, just right with this and this. Oh wow, that's so cool, John. His 3 versions are all different. Pick that one. Okay, cool, that one. There you go. I mean, that's creativity. And I mean, a lot of them are very plain. If you look at a lot of the week, they're very boxy and stuff. But some of them Enterprise ships are really. I mean, again, the Xindi ships are great. Really interesting designs, very different. I know you like the Nausicaan ship.
Yes, the Nausicaan ship was cool. I just saw the model the other day on the Eagle Moss site. I didn't know that was a model before that. But we just did a mission briefing on that, talking about that, and that is a very cool looking ship. So I might get the model. Let's see about getting that one.
Cool. And obviously Enterprise era Bird of Prey, what a beauty.
Yeah. Let's see here. Would you rather Romulan ale or Klingon blood wine?
Oh.
Romulan ale.
Yeah.
It hits you directly, and it's blue. Blue always tastes good in a drink. Klingon blood wine just sounds disgusting.
It's not great.
Warflex is young and sweet, he said, so.
Yeah. It's not great.
No one's special, just send another $2. Oh, sorry, I didn't cut you off.
Thank you.
I'm sorry for the impotent thing. It was supposed to be important. Autocorrect. Ambassador or Reliant? Well, that's easy. It's Ambassador. Ambassador's awesome.
I don't know. The Reliant's so nice, though.
So's the Ambassador. The Ambassador's an awesome ship. Way superior to like the Excelsior design. If you want to carry over that Federation design aesthetic, especially the TOS one, to a new modern ship, the Ambassador does it so well. A lot of people say that the Excelsior is like the epitome of Starfleet design. It's got everything you need for the ship, the cells, the saucer, and it looks good. And I'm like, okay, I can see why you'd say that. But in my mind, the Ambassador is a much better representation of Federation design aesthetic.
Well, they're 2 different sides of the coin. The Ambassador is a fat version, and the Excelsior is the lanky version.
So the Ambassador is me, and the Excelsior is you.
Watch the live to see my reaction. You're not too far. I mean, it's true though. Like the D then is the weird version. D's really let himself go, and the E's really turn his sword on the side, so it doesn't matter if he's let himself go. But I mean, again, how do you invent another Federation hero ship after the Enterprise refit? The Excelsior is such an amazing reinvention of the wheel that still feels completely faithful, reinvents everything, but completely, in the same ballpark. It looks more evolved in some ways. Obviously, the retcon of where the technology goes, it makes sense. It's like, wow, that lightning in a bottle twice is not as elegant, not as sexy, but somehow its odd proportioning works. Unlike Discovery, where its odd proportioning doesn't work. And you get the Ambassador. I mean, would you rather have seen Andrew's original Ambassador? The original designer of the Ambassador.
No, there's things I like about Andrews, but overall, the secondary hull and the struts really bother me. I don't like the way they're shaped. I much prefer Rick Sternbach's version of the Ambassador class. My personal opinion.
But if you want the evolution of a shape, surely you should like the Andrews one more, because it literally is taking the shapes of Excelsior and D and evolving them, so it's literally designed to fit in between, whereas Ambassador is designed to fit in between and then and then simplify it down to what we can practically make. So undoing, you know, what it looks like. But that somehow that made it look more like TOS. I guess because I mean the TOS Enterprise hasn't got these smooth curves, except on the saucer. So by having smooth curves on the pylons and such, it does retract away from its TOS look, whereas you like it's much more flatter profile and streamlined pylons, a bit in like hard edges sort of way. Yeah, they're very different. Ambassador is less interesting a design. It doesn't do anything different. Although I like
Excelsior.
The Excelsior is more different. It's got a lot more different things, like the under shuttle bay. Because imagine if they actually done like that had been a hero ship properly. We've seen the under hull shuttle bay being used, like a full miniature set being created and ships flying in and out of it, like big cargo. You know, you do some really cool stuff with that. Whereas Ambassador is just another Federation ship. Obviously, the nacelles are cool because they have the blue glow. The first one they have the blue glow, but it's very much another ship of the fleet. Excelsior has more of its unique vibe. Yeah. There you go. You got your $2 worth there, didn't you? No one special.
Still prefer the Ambassador.
The face hugger infected a Borg. Would the alien have cybernetics? That's from Barry.
That's interesting. Although if the Borg got a hold of this xenomorphs, that might be dangerous. I don't know.
I can't see it would come out with mechanical. More... Well, I'm assuming it would have nanoprobes, but they would stay internal. So it would be organic outer shell with parts of its anatomy coated like in nanoprobe technology, like its heart, its head. But it would still want its acid blood, because that's a very strong defense mechanism. So if you had technology, it would redundantize that a lot. I don't think Xenomorphs would be smart enough to deal with the Borg fully. Because surely, though, it would just become a Borg based on the species that it... Or a Xenomorph depending on the species it infects. So a Xenomorph Klingon would just be a Xenomorph Klingon, not a Xenomorph Klingon Borg. Or the nanoprobes kill the facehugger. I think probably more likely.
John Yasuda, $5.
Thank you.
One thing that drove me nuts is what the fuck happened to engineering in JJ's Enterprises. It looks like a drunk in a beer factory designed it. Well, they ran out of money. They had a concept sketch for the engineering room, and it looked really cool. They ran out of money, so instead they just went to Budweiser and said, "Can we use your brewery as the engine room?" And concrete walls and all, and dripping pipes and big vats, and that's exactly what happened. So that's why there's a Budweiser classic reference in the bar scene. And yeah, they just used a factory, which is awful. But the concept sketch for the engineering looked pretty cool. I would have liked to see that.
Yeah, it's lazy and stupid, and it detracts even further. It's amazing we can just take swaths of the film and just say, nope, that's just poor. Nope, just poor. It's amazing that. Again, I mean, good films aren't as difficult as they could be to make. Again, take Mission Impossible, this one I just watched today. There's basically nothing wrong with it, and it's very good in very many ways. So it's like you can make good films. You know, they're possible. You know.
The film, they filmed a few scenes at the actual plasma testing facility. That's for the second movie, for
certainly
Into
better.
Darkness. And still, that looks stupid too. I know it's more advanced tech, and
it's not more advanced than Star Trek tech, so it looks under-advanced.
Set. Build the goddamn set that looks like a future engineering room instead of just going to a local whorehouse and saying, "Can we use your basement to film our engine room? Thanks."
Well, that's the joke. Cool. That's the joke, isn't it? Enterprise, but more advanced than all three of the sets.
Yeah,
because it was a sci-fi engine with basic metal plates around it, but it had a sci-fi engine, whereas the Into Darkness one and Beyond was like, I mean, here's some bits that look like mechanical bits with lots of stuff around it, and it was huge. It was way too big. I think they worked out if you put in the secondary hull what you see in those movies, like 70% of the secondary hull is the engine room. It was like, oh, okay. Stupid again.
Car Galaxy Studios said they actually went back to watch Wrath of Khan. The engine room didn't make sense regarding the death of Spock. That wasn't the engine room. That was just a portion of the engine room. That was, I forget what it was called.
Plasma manifold.
But it was the reaction control assembly or something.
Yeah, he fixed a piece.
Yeah, and it was realigning the crystals or whatever in the thing. Yeah. That was just one part of the engine room. The rest of the engine room was what we see like in Star Trek: The Motion Picture, with the shaft running back to the pylons and stuff. But that's just the one little glimpse you get of engineering in the Wrath of Khan. If you think that's just the engine room, then I understand it doesn't make sense, but it does. There's blueprints, and this is one section of it. So
it's the dilithium reactor room.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Just and you can see it early in the movie. They just sort of walk through engineering. It's like, oh, there it is. Cool.
Yeah.
That's later, you know.
Yeah. Vulcan girls or Romulan girls?
Romulan.
Yeah. Except old school Romulan without the ridges on their forehead.
I mean, you know. Could go behind them. Then it's more alien fun, you know. Otherwise, why be with a Romulan? You know, just be a human then.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Klingon or Romulan?
Klingon or Romulan? Romulan, because I don't want to be have broken arms and legs and ribs and
That you want to feel the passion of a Klingon lover as they rip you into 3 or 4 pieces.
No, I'm not a big fan of being bit, and I think that would happen a lot. So no.
Okay. I mean, with modern medical technology of that era, I mean, they could decapitate you and be fine. You know. BDSM is like breaking during mating. Yeah, there you go. Oh, I missed an S. Breaking during submissive mating. You're the submissive one, they just break you. That's
like that scene in Deep Space Nine where Quark and his Klingon girlfriend come in and what happened to you guys? And then Worf and Jadzia come in. What happened to you guys? Or, you know, I'm not even going to ask anymore. I'm just going to treat the wounds and I'm going to just leave.
It happens, guys. You know, Klingons are passionate people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so yeah.
Well, this derailed quickly. Just saying. Hi guys, hi Paul.
It happens. That's what lives are for.
So we have half an hour left, guys, and we would love to have at least another $60 super chat. We've been monitoring a little bit, and we're a little bit under what we know we need for this week. So if we can get 60, that'd be awesome. In any small increments, half an hour. If you can help, that would be super duper.
Indeed. In the meantime, hey, look at this bad boy. This is a 350 scale USS Franklin from Star Trek Beyond. Picked this up at Wonderfest, so it's going to be interesting to build this and put it next to my 350 TOS Constitution class and see just how big this thing is. Nice shots of it at the back there.
I think John did the art for this one.
Yes, he did. Yeah, Johnny did the art for this one, yeah. So, I wonder if it says his name on here anywhere. I don't think so.
I think it would. They don't tend to give credit like that. M.A. Yes, I'll be in Birmingham this year. For both days. Kind of have to be. Maybe on a panel, I'm not sure. I haven't got there yet, but hopefully. Would be nice. Need to get some cool signatures from people for you all to see. Well, while you show that, I might as well show off the Galactica that I got, Stuart. Sort of swap
What's that? You're gonna
show off the Galactica because I
Oh yeah. I haven't got that yet.
Yeah, I managed to get the Igamos Galactica. which I like. I want to show it off briefly, and we'll do a review of it. Maybe a live review, maybe an edited review. We'll see, because they do good stuff. And you can't see me, but you'll see me in a minute. Live, Stuart. It's not really live.
Yeah, I can't see it live yet, which is a shame.
So yeah, here we go.
Okay.
Here's the Battlestar Galactica in its post-war variant with all of the because you can see the armor plating which is still there, and all the removed piecings which you can see. But no, so it's a nice miniature. It's less weighty than you think it's going to be. It's actually pretty damn light considering. But in terms of like visuals, it looks exactly right to the point of like details I didn't even know existed. There's weapon pods there which I never knew were there. I should know. I've seen the model, so it's like I should know. I've never looked there because why would I? It has certain cool views, and it's just such a nice. It's not the most aesthetically designed ship, but it's very balanced, and you can feel balanced when you
Yeah, and it's a great reimagining of an old design into something a little more modern.
Yes.
That's how you redo things right.
Yep, it's the same but visually very different. It's radically different, but also radically the same. And to get that at the same time is pretty.
You know what it is by looking at it right away. And I know people say, "Well, the JJ prize is the same thing," but yeah, it is at first glance. But
but what? Oh, you mean
at least like they needed to keep the colors the same. At least make the Bizards red. You know, things like that. Simple things. Make it look like the original one.
Yeah, well, my only complaints about this is that the front has no detail. And there should be lots of little greeblies in the real. Obviously, you can't really put them here, but they can put something here. So, yeah, there's a little prong, but there should be lots of details there, which there aren't. But again, you're sort of meant to have it, you know, sort of this distance. I gotta look at it for a second. That's cool. It's a nice piece.
Barry Chapman just said, was disappointed the Eagle Moss Nostromo was out of stock after Stewart's review of it. It was interesting because when they sent it to me, I checked the site right away, and it was already out of stock after they had sent it to me. So I don't know if I got the last one or whatever.
Yeah, that's a problem with that. Obviously, we have a generic code for everything, but they don't have it set for everything because I guess they can't legally and stuff. So I was trying to show. If you look at this, hand painted, and you can see that my Galactica marking has been not fully painted. Or it's battle worn. You'll see that in a second. No, it's. I really hope they do oh no, I'm out of focus. Dear. I really hope they do a pre-war variant, the blood and chrome version, so we can see it in its all its glory, because it is certainly nicer in all its glory. Oh my goodness, I am not gonna focus. Come on.
Now you're out of focus. Haha, I was out of focus earlier.
It's blurry Trekyards.
Got to do a vid on that, yeah. I'm sure Samuel will do a review of that for sure. I certainly will when I get mine as well. Should be here sometime soon. But yeah, it's a nice looking model, absolutely. I'm excited to do it.
It's not focusing anything. It's not even focusing up close. Okay, that focused. There we go. I had to trick it to focus right next to it so it could focus very far away. That makes sense. No, it doesn't.
I hate seeing delayed video. That just annoys me.
I'm sorry, Stuart. I can't affect
that. Trekyards, do you watch Andromeda? I've watched quite a few episodes of Andromeda, yeah.
I've seen it all.
Sorry.
The first season is not particularly good. Second, it gets progressively better. And the fifth season is garbage. I don't know. It's ridiculous. It takes. It's probably the sharpest drop in quality I've seen for any show. From this is really. Oh, what? It loses everything that makes it cool. And I get the clever budget reasons, but there's so much setup for no payoff. And it's like just I don't know why. Couldn't they tell they make a wrong decision at the time? Like they killed their own show. Which is sad because season 4 is pretty good. And CG, my god, the CG got so much better between like 2 seasons. It was like passable to pretty damn good. And then some of those guys move on to Stargate, so I'm happy about that. I was all fine with that because Stargate's some good CG.
right?
Yeah, it gets worse after the first season. It does. It does. Not very good at all. Stuart, I said $60. We haven't got any. That's really sad.
I know. I'm just.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Stuart, your cap is off center.
Now you're the captain.
Well, my video's very, very choppy. My computer's acting like stupid today. That's why I've kind of been preoccupied because I'm frozen, and then that's frozen, and that's delayed, and it's irritating. So I apologize.
Well, you look and sound great to all of us, Stuart.
Yay!
The important thing. Oh, someone said, what about Red Dwarf? Have you seen Red Dwarf, Stuart?
Absolutely, I've seen Red Dwarf. I
How
love Red
much
Dwarf.
of Red Dwarf? How much Red Dwarf?
Almost all of it. I haven't seen the latest ones.
Okay. They're good.
I don't know your seasons, but I don't know where you guys are.
Yeah, it's funny. I got bitched at early on for Trekyards for saying series season, but then there was a recent thing where they said, UK just name it differently. So you all had a go at me for not saying your way, but it's like, yeah, but it's a British show, so no, our way is the right way for that. And if I've been brought up for 20 years, and we also did TV before you, it's like, no. Season 4, season 6.
2 super chats.
Ooh.
Ricky Radio, $5. Despite my overall disappointment in season 1 of Star Trek Discovery, I do like the common sense futuristic changes. Sonic toothbrushes, hollow mirrors, sensor hallway lights. Yeah, those are all very cool. But those could have all been incorporated into a TOS look. That's my opinion.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's the future. It depends. Do you keep it the future of 2260, or do you just make it the future of us? Star Trek is not the future of now, because we didn't have the
future of the 60s.
Well, yes, but we didn't have the Third World War. We didn't have the Eugenics War. We didn't have COM. We didn't have all these things. Every time they mention the future a couple of years from now when NASA's doing these things, like, it didn't happen. We're not going to launch a Phoenix in 70 years after the Third World War. So it's not the future of our world. And the further we get into the future, it'll be more and more fiction. So embrace it. You've got a separate universe like Star Wars, maybe it's a long time ago, Galaxy far, far away, who knows where it goes. But all these universes like Andromeda, they're not actually us. They are a different universe. So let Star Trek be its own universe. Because if you get Star Trek fans... Okay, like Mission Impossible 6, I'm not a Mission Impossible fan, per se, but I enjoyed number 6. I saw it as a good action movie. So you can get... Just making a good product. Well, actually, another good example. Battlestar Galactica, right, didn't just get Battlestar Galactica fans. Do you know why? It was a damn good show. And even if you didn't like the new show because it wasn't the old show, you could not say it wasn't a damn good quality show. I think most fans would not argue it was rubbish because it wasn't rubbish. So make a really good quality show and we'll flock to it. I mean, DS9 certainly isn't the most Star Trek show, but when it gets to a certain point, its own vibe takes over and it becomes a really great, character piece. So it doesn't need to be the best Trek, it just needs to be a good show. Didn't quite work as a good show, so that, was not in its favour for Discovery. Yeah. Wasn't bad, but I mean, modern day.
There's another 2 more super chats we need to get to, but before I do that, I want to address something in the comments section about calling it STD. It's not STD, it's Discovery, like DIS or DISC is short form. Because we don't say for Star Trek Voyager, you don't say STV. Just
Has
people latched onto STD because they hate it and they wanted to insult it, and it's a Star Trek transmitted disease, I guess.
Has anyone said STV ever?
No, I've been using it in the group in the admin chat lately as a joke because I'm really getting sick and tired of seeing STD because it's not called that, but that's all right.
STTNG. I mean, it's like, no, you just say TNG Disco. I mean, it's whatever you want it to be, but I mean, just if TNG can be, well, I don't know, it's just.
Yeah, STV looks like Star Trek 5. Yeah, well,
that's true.
That's why it's Voyager VOI.
Well, that's the thing. We the whole thing of what we do is we call out the good and the bad. We're not in this to disrespect anything. When I say season 1 wasn't good, I'm not saying it's a disrespect on the people or whatever. It's because I can point out maybe 50 or 60 things that are wrong with it. Objective quality problems. I'm not saying I hate them because I'm not a whining troll. I've never been a whining troll. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a filmmaker that understands camera angles, sound, less so music. You know, that's the angle I take it from. Plus, a Trek fan, a biased Trek fan between the old, for the old Trek and obviously the Trek I was brought up with, whatever. Although I was shown TOS first, then TNG, so I was given a much more classical appreciation of Star Trek by watching in the sort of correct order. But still, it's not about whining, and I would rather call it Disco or Discovery, because that's, in fact, calling it Discovery and not calling it whatever takes away the Star Trek from it. Take away the Star Trek from its title, just call it Discovery. You know, that's even more.
Exactly. They're trying to insult it, and they're pulling Star Trek right back into it.
You
exactly. That's a good point.
But that's the fun disrespect you can do.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Never thought about it like that, but I got to bring that up sometime. That's interesting.
I should try to be a troll sometimes. Someone says, "No thanks, I've got better things to do in my life."
Gareth Fairclough, £5. Sam Stewart, which
thanks.
video games would you like to see remade or have a spiritual successor made?
Is that still
I've been saying this all along, and that's the Starfleet Command.
Yes, you have.
Volume 2. The whole Starfleet Command series should be remade for modern computers.
Oh, I think I moved it. Damn it! I just had it. Where's it still my disc tray?
What are you doing?
Yeah, still a disc tray. This one.
Remember, I can't see you live. I'm delayed here by like 20 seconds, which is annoying.
I'll wait.
All I see is you bent over.
What?
And now I see a disc, but I can only see part of it because my computer froze. And there it is, explosive. I don't know what that is. Star Trek Voyager Elite Force.
There you go. The wonderful delayed storytelling. Yeah, they remade, they re-released a lot of old things ex post. I mean, that's such a good game. I mean, that, and also, gotta say, given Daniel's amazing Voyager game project,
yeah,
I mean, you could remaster the first level of that super easily, and be very, very next gen. I really want to see more. The problem with a lot of the Star Trek games, they were made a lot in a short amount of time in an age where they recorded audio poorly. So if you want the voiceover from Kirk, say, or Sulu in Academy, it will sound like crap because it was recorded on a low end. Now, if you could somehow find the masters, maybe, but that's a hell. So the company doesn't exist anymore. With the game, they probably didn't archive because they don't tend to do that sort of stuff to get them to RAWs. But if they could somehow get any of them, you know, I mean, even just another Armada, like a proper Armada, like Armada 4, because Max has done such a good Armada 3. But get a really good campaign. I mean, that I'd be fine to have Discovery stuff in. Just lower the scale, otherwise you'd look stupid flying Discovery ships. But, you know, have every era. Because if you remember, Legacy went through every era. Top-down tactical game. And you start in one era, and you go through, and you level up, and you rank up, and you start TOS, and then they have all the, you know, even the Stowe stuff. You have a Stowe expansion pack, because why not? You know, I mean, that RTS style is just ripe for a game, honestly.
Yes.
They don't...
So many things I'd like to see, to be honest. But
yeah, they capitalized at a certain point, then didn't ever again. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Carlos Albanese sent £2. Thank you. No message or whatever, but thank you very much. Much appreciated. If they could license a fastest Starfleet battles for the PC. Well, see, basically that's what Starfleet Command Volume 2 is. It's kind of a combination between Starfleet battles gameplay, but with Starfleet Star Trek fastest ships, which is one of the reasons I loved it. It was fantastic. Plus, they included the races, the other races like the Hydrants and the Kzinti and the Gorn and stuff in that, which was really amazing. It was just a fun game. Volume 2 and Orion Pirates was the best. Volume 3 kind of fell apart a little bit, but that's my opinion.
Wow. I know the gameplay wasn't the game. Well, when the gameplay was most advanced of the time, I know it had a good release because of that. Yeah.
Yeah. I have to figure out how to do super chats. I don't think I've ever put a credit card number.
I don't know if you have
and you
to.
can hook it up to PayPal. Well, Dale, you can. What happened with mine? Whenever I contribute to a super chat on my phone, I just hit the little $sign, and then I have to use my thumbprint, and it authorizes it through my iTunes account. So iTunes it gets paid that way. So whatever you have your iTunes or whatever set up for, that's how it works. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Super chats are very important.
Yeah, and they're
They
fun.
make
Like
us
when
go.
they're going well, they're
Yeah.
awesome.
Flowing
Not that this one's not
conversation.
going well. It's just I'm kind of out of steam and got 10 minutes left.
Yeah. It's tricky. I
And
mean, we have to sort of be on the whole time.
yeah.
And like you say, if super chats are making us because you really are making us talk about things, you know, it's kind of fun. You sort of like have to keep on focus, keep the ball, and keep track of what
Yeah, well,
you're
the
trying to say.
thing is, you can make us talk about anything if you send a super chat because we see it. Gareth Fairclough, £2, very important. Yes, I think it's very important for us to keep the show going. So you can ask us anything, and we will see it and be able to acknowledge it. I mean, you can still comment, of course, in the comment section, but they go by there's so many going on that while we're talking, we can't read them all, and we miss a lot of stuff. So the super chats are important that way. Plus, it gives us a real chance to interact with you guys, which is fun. If you guys ever wanted to hang out with us, you can do so on a super chat and kind of get your questions answered if you have anything specific. So,
and it's amazing how one super chat can earn us like 4 or 5 videos worth of money.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and then you know it is that crazy because so what you think of as little amount of money to makes a huge difference. You know, we really don't do this to be rich. You know,
Gareth just said I think he chose to ignore what I actually said. This time he said very impotent. Yes, and he meant to do it this time because last time he didn't. Sorry, I'm not impotent.
I can't see my face, can you? Everyone else saw the face there. Yeah. No, super chats are fun, and we have this new show we want to do, which we think will be really, really cool. We want to do more themed super chats. I mean, maybe, as I said before, do episode reviews live would be fun. We just know that gaining momentum in super chats are really important in these lives. You know, we couldn't just start and expect to get very many dollars in the 40 minutes. You have to have like a pre-show and then a post-show. But I think it'd be really fun.
We just got a $20 super chat from David Schroeder.
And you've
hey
no
guys,
idea how
it's
big
me
that
again.
is.
Love the show and ready for some more originals episodes.
Yes, we have 3 more. Did you get the email from the guy that's the team member about his ship? Should have been like 2 days ago. I won't say the name because it's spoilers.
No, you'll need to talk about that later. I must have missed something.
It's a regular team member of ours.
Oh.
Yeah. You start. I said I'll put that straight away because that should be quite an easy one because the model's already done and it fits into the timeline quite happily. So we have to do that one, Stuart.
Yeah. I know who sent it, and I know what they sent, and I know what their comment said, but I don't know what ship it was for. So we'll need to talk about that.
Originals.
So yes.
It's a lost era ship, Stuart. Lots of stuff to talk about. I'm gonna have to update the model and do little tweaks, and that's what we do. And Adrian, I think, will have another one because he has some cool designs.
But thank you, David. That $20 at the end here is really perks us up. So thank you.
Yeah, I mean that's like most of an episode revenue.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of, have you guys enjoyed the last few episodes? I mean,
should.
Yeah.
Speaking of, earlier when I was gone and you were showing off the Saladin flyby, did you tell them about Saladin episode?
No, I just actually without context, I just sort of showed it and was like, "Ha! Oh, random game user just got here."
Like a random just showed up. She just messaged me on Twitter. She didn't see it. She was just live herself. So
okay.
You're fired on live.
No.
I'm just kidding.
No. Don't be. No, did you guys enjoy the Hideki and the Covenant Assault Carrier? And that's our last Discovery Enterprise, so you'll see some fun other videos. Need to work out what next week is, because we haven't discussed what our next few Saturdays are. Cushman's was like my mental buffer, but we just released those 2, so need to find some more.
Well, the Saladin, everybody's pining for that.
It's true. It's true.
It's almost finished. I mean, it's finished, but it's, you know what I mean.
Finished but not ready. Yeah. Yeah, I'm always dubious about things because if we waited a few more weeks, it'd get more money just from the ad revenue. One of those weird ones.
Yeah. Well, we're filming on Tuesday.
Yes.
It's new episodes on Tuesday, just like the torpedoes and the medical staff. They all come on Tuesday.
Pretty much. And I will say that I have been doing some preparation renders for those, just trying to sort of get them out the door quicker, because it's cool stuff we got to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a last one. It's a good one to kind of talk about. I mean, even though they didn't pay for a super chat, that's fine. Kirk or Picard? You'd probably pick Picard because he's British.
I've met them. I've met both, but well, I mean, the problem is Picard had 7 years, 3 movies. Kirk had 3 years, 6 movies. But he was barely in. He wasn't really in Generations enough to count much. Really, I mean.
Well, that's 7 movies if you count Generations. That's true. He was in the motion picture through number 6. That's 6 movies.
That's true. And he's almost better in the movies than he is in the show. Weirdly enough,
yes.
Some of them anyway. Yeah. But he has some of his highlights in the movies, shall we say? I don't know. I mean, just the fact that he has literally over double the time with him means you know Picard more. You know it will do more. Kirk was more two-dimensional. I'm not saying he was, but I'm saying he was more. That's just because of the era he lived in. I mean, he was actually quite developed considering the time he was, to be fair.
Mm-hmm. I'm a Kirk guy, unfortunately. I do love Picard.
No, I think so, unfortunately.
Very Renaissance man, and that's cool. But I like Kirk. So
yeah. I mean, yeah, both are really good. That's why they both become legends of our modern era. You know, I mean, I like a Janeway, I like a Sisko, I like a Scott Bakula.
Sisko would be my favorite captain if I had to choose.
I think he's very aggressive though. He's not as good at.
That's what I like.
Okay, fair enough.
He's not a diplomat, that's for sure, but he can be. He just doesn't enjoy it as much.
Yes. I'd be interested to see like how Sisko, because each era of Trek of the 5 shows, obviously 6 if you count Discovery, but you shouldn't. They all the stories are written for how their characters would address this situation, right? So it'd be interesting to pull Janeway out and put her in a TOS episode and see how the same character would fare. You know, because if you look at what Picard faced in comparison to what Janeway faced, I mean, she faced a lot worse situations, I think, than Picard, because they had better CG, better makeup ability. You know, the scope of what they could face. I mean, Picard never faced 19 Borg cubes and survived. You know what I mean? Okay, yes, it was much easier in her day because it was just written easier. But what Picard faced was, I think, you know what I mean? He faced pack leads and found them challenging. Sisko would just shoot them, you know. Janeway would science them, and Picard just dealt with them, and Kirk wouldn't even be in that position in the first place. He'd be like, nah, go away, you have crap makeup. You know what I mean? But Kirk dealt with like...
Yeah.
But then Kirk dealt with situations in a more challenging at the time. Do you think any of them would be as good at... Sorry, it's just fun to discuss. I mean, how do you think then... So Scott Bakula pretty well considering in The Expanse in Season 3. Which of the other captains would do as well, better, worse? Like, how would Kirk have dealt with the whole Expanse storyline? Like, literally transpose one to the other.
You can't. That's a whole live chat in itself, dude. You can't do that. Well, we've got some super chats coming in that we need to address. So
nice.
It's a good question. We'll talk about it sometime. But yes. Jordan Todd Scott, £1. Thank you very much.
Best currency.
David Schroeder again, another $10. A small perk. Perk. You gentlemen, stay positive. Thank you very much.
And you've just given us half of our 60 that we asked for, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Colin Swayze, $5.
Thank you.
Glad I caught the tail end of this. If you could only bring back one of these two characters to the new Picard's series, who would it be? Worf or B4? B4, I think. We got a lot more of Worf in Deep Space Nine than we did of like Data, and I'd like to see how the B4 thing plays out because it was kind of dropped because they didn't make another movie, unfortunately. So I'd like to see the B4 storyline continued if they can only bring one back.
I feel like you're only going to rehash old Data territory, whereas B4 is a good one-line. Oh yeah, 2 months later the Data personality took over. Whereas Worf is a better, like, I think Worf would be a cool character. And obviously, before you couldn't bring back, because you couldn't make Brent Spiner look like he did. Worf you could make look like he did.
But Data ages, and I'm sure B4 would
but
too.
not as much
They've
as
talked
Brent
about that.
Spiner does. And also, Brent says he doesn't want to play him again. I mean, okay, sure, if CBS gave him $1 million a minute, he'd probably come back. Just wouldn't
$1 million
enjoy
a
it.
minute.
Well, yeah, $1 million episode wouldn't be enough, I don't think, because they made that quite a lot of the time. I think Worf is a more, like, anyone in makeup you could bring back seamlessly. And so, like Odo, seamless, you know. And how cool that'd be to have them back exactly as you remember them, just age up a little bit as they would be, although Odo not so much. Same with the Ferengi, that'd be cool, you know. Just because you could have them truly back, whereas, you know, Cisco or Bashir or O'Brien, they would all look like old versions of themselves. You know, I mean, I've seen Picard up close. He's aged a bit, but he still feels very similar. You know, he's never put on the fat of age or the weariness of age. He still is very much him, just older. You know, whereas like Riker, he's put on more and more weight. He's still got a great vibe to him, but he would feel like a fat Will Riker, you know. So I'd love to see like a Michael Dorn come back. Yeah.
Well, we got another super chat from Gareth Fairclough again.
Oh my god,
Amazing,
Gareth, you're crazy. You're crazy.
20 pounds.
What?
The boys need
Really?
perking up, and they prefer them bigger. So 20 pounds is more than $20. It's a competition
Oh my
now.
goodness.
Dun, dun, dun.
I think we hit our 60. That's incredible. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yay. We can sleep better tonight. Ooh. Nutty Lancaster, thanks for commenting. You guys are here a lot. Trekyards, is Archer a superhuman? Now his involvement in the augment virus. Augment superhuman. That'd have been cool. Have him deal with some repercussions of it. What do you think, Stuart?
I didn't hear because you faded out. So what did you say?
Archer dealing with augment virus becomes superhero because like get abilities from the augment virus.
That'd be neat.
Well, side question, but again, this is like a big question. Do you wish that characters in Trek would change from what they dealt with? You know, do you wish Picard had become sad for a season because of his dealings with our light? You know, do you wish they had repercussions?
Yes, absolutely. One of the biggest ones for me with that is when Neelix died and realized there was no afterlife, or thought there was no afterlife. And then at the end of the episode, it wasn't resolved at all. And then the next episode, he's fine again. Yeah, things like that would change people. And sure, you get the odd reference to a few things that happened, especially like the Borg assimilation. You get mention of that later. But there's no real... And that's one of the biggest complaints that people have about Voyager, is that the characters would be... They've gone through so much, all of them, that they would be very different by the end of the series, and they're not really different at all.
Well, that
when the end of the series comes
It
around.
was a TNG sequel.
Them
so
more than
kept the
other
old
crews that we see. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would prefer that they carry that kind of stuff over. That'd be very awesome.
I mean, just the fact that Harry Kim is not the real Harry Kim. He's from a parallel, split.
Spoilers. Maybe people haven't seen Voyager.
Well, it could be any point in the show. I mean, just a simple one. It's not simple at the time, but you know, B'Elanna, Tuvok, and Janeway all being fully Borgified. Yes, they had immunity, but still fully. I mean, they were surgically altered their entire bodies. I mean, they should at least be doing physio for the next year. I mean, come on. They really devalued the ability next episode, they're just fine. Like, that was a weird one.
Mm-hmm.
They should be.
And Car Galaxy Studios said, but Stuart, holodecks can fix a lot. Yeah, so maybe what they did was told Neelix, all right, we're going to put you under. We got to do surgery on you. There's a chance you could die. Put him under, beam him to the holodeck, have a holodeck afterlife for him, beam him back and go, okay, you died for a while. But you're back now. And he'd be all happy because there'd be an afterlife. And he'd be like, I feel better now. That's mean.
Yes, I like that. I mean, Barry pointed out something interesting. The TNG episode Family, the truest repercussions episode. And someone else pointed that Paris changed a lot. The rest not so much. Which is true.
Mm-hmm.
Which is true. I mean, think of Chakotay. Did he even be a character for 7 years? We're talking about changing. Did he even start? Yeah, that would have been nice if he'd had a development. Because you can imagine... Yeah. Voyager is a big thing in missed opportunities, but at least it had some good sci-fi. You know? Oh my god.
Oh, thank you. Now my glasses are covered in dog slobber.
$10.
Somebody's getting impatient that Dieter's is
$10
not
super
done
chat
his
for the
life.
dog. Anyone who loves a dog, super chat, and then we can go. Because final $30. Haha, I'm high expectations here. Let's see if we can get a final 30, and then we can close out and say good night, and I can go back to work because it's not too late, which is nice.
Yeah, I gotta go eat food still.
Oh yeah, we had a dinner a few hours ago. We have some samosas. We had samosas in the fridge.
It's gross.
And we're filming Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday. Is that what we said, or was it Monday? Do we not say yet?
Did we not say what about Monday?
Filming. Which are we doing? On which day?
For filming? We're
Yeah.
filming Tuesday. I can't
Yeah.
do Monday.
I thought we're. Yeah.
Monday's a holiday here.
Yes, that's
Labor
what it was.
Day.
Cool. I'm tempted to do my Elite Force stream this week, maybe. So I'd love to see you do like an Armada 1 stream. I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah, I would love to do some streaming gameplay. I think that'd be really fun, especially if we could face off against each other. But
actually, that's fun. Could you do a double stream on the Trekyards?
What's that?
Could you stream two things at the same time on the channel? Because you could stream my version and your version. Like both.
I have no idea.
Or should we like OBS it and then you send me via screen share your screen? I don't know.
There's got to be a way to do it. We need, if somebody knows out there or knows somebody that could tell us a way to make more out of these live chats. Like I'd love to, if we do one by ourselves, be able to pull up pictures and stuff. I know he had an animation flying by. He needs to show me how to do that kind of thing.
Oh, you're currently on the screen, so I just swapped you out for the screen, for the animation screen. Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Anyway,
I mean, I'll do it again if you want. I'll make something fly past
no,
camera.
it's fine.
Oh, okay.
Hey, don't make me disappear. What are you doing?
Da 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 da.
I'm Doug Drexler.
That's an improvement.
Ooh.
Look who I've replaced Stuart with. What do you guys think? Is this a good replacement?
Thanks.
How's there you go. My new co-host today. Yes, Doug.
That was a great interview that day too.
Yes, Doug. You're right. I agree. I think that he's right. God, Doug, your footage looks so good. How is your Skype this good, Doug?
And it's true too. It really is.
Why is it sunny there? It's what is it? Like 5 in the afternoon.
Studied for this job for 50 years.
It's 6:13 right now.
See, I do really want to. I know I said before, I do want to go and interview all of them in person properly. Be the guys to do that, because this was such a good interview and that's such good footage. Yeah. There you go. You're back.
And he had to keep checking on Beaky during that.
Damn focused for a guy that couldn't be fully focused.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, $30 more on Super Chat and we can go. That's it.
What?
That's all we want. 30 more.
Oh my God! No! Come on! It's been 2 hours and 8 minutes. We usually go for 2 hours.
It's been 2 hours. It's been 1 hour 59. It's just longer because of the hangout. 1 hour 59 and 30.
I got 2 hours and 8 minutes on the live stream on the YouTube thing, so that's the official count there.
On the video it says 1 hour and 51. That's interesting.
2 hours and 8 minutes and 59 seconds.
Huh. We are using OBS for streaming. Any suggestions? Okay, $5 more and we'll go. We always like to end on a high.
My God.
$5 more and we'll leave and you'll say goodbye.
We should have an online auction. Is what we should do. We should have a live auction of like certain pieces from my collection, and whoever bids the most gets it. That'd be awesome. But then they lose their money to the super chat. So to my now.
Yes, we lose 30%. We should really invest in that other non-30% because you guys are so amazing. If we get 30% back on every super chat, it would make such a difference. It really would. Oh, it really would. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you want to talk about next live, Stuart?
Oh, somebody wants, good old gamer wants Sylvia here to give more kisses.
When are you doing another live with her, Stuart?
Yeah, I was going to do one in the middle of the week and we kind of forgot about it. Got busy.
This week, maybe?
Yeah.
I'd watch it.
Damn right you would.
Because you could do one with Sylvia and I could do my my Elite Four stream and see if we can have a really amazing week. Because like I say, we have a new show. We're so excited about it. But we
got Colin Swayze $5.
You saved us, Colin. You saved.
Do you guys think they will? Do you guys think they will try to incorporate Voyager and Deep Space Nine into the new series, or possibly bring them back for their own series? I think they'll incorporate it in the new one, at least having a cameo from somebody from each one.
Having Spock in TNG had the best ratings of any show. If you have, every single one would be. Imagine if they said next week on Star Trek, the Picard show, the Picard Chronicles, Scott Bakula returns as a hologram. This week, Tim Russ reprises Tuvok. We would all tune in, even if we hate the show, would tune in.
Yeah, it's true.
Every single episode would be as I said before, each episode you should have a special guest, and have their speciality drive the show. So, B'Elanna comes in as an episode for engineering or for Klingon relations or something. Like they're all so valuable in their own way. There you go. And I will vamp while Stuart is hanging out with his dog.
Well, the dog's just acting funky. She wants me to go upstairs, and so yeah.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much for another successful stream of Trekyards. We are thoroughly enjoying this medium. What?
We are. This is fun.
What are you...
No, I'm just reading some of the comments.
Oh.
Talking about shirtless streams
no,
and stuff.
That's fine. That's fine. Let's not do that. Closing
anyway,
thoughts,
guys, let's call that a wrap. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and being awesome, because you guys are totally awesome.
Yes, and we hope to see you soon. And we've got Tuesday's Fleet Yard, Wednesday's Mission Briefing, and more coming out on Trekyards. Thanks so much. I'm going to go eat samosa and do some more green screening for a fellow fan film guy. Cool.
I'm going to go eat some food and
we're going to eat, Stuart.
Have fun. Have a good long weekend, because it's the last long weekend of the summer, and then the kids go back to school on Tuesday. So,
Stuart, what are you going to eat?
I have no idea.
Oh.
I need to go discuss it with the peeps.
Do you going to go to the grocery store and buy something, or would you make something at home, do you think?
What?
You going to go to the grocery store and get something, or just make whatever's in the house?
We'll probably order something in, yeah. Probably
Ooh.
get delivery, because it's a long weekend. We're lazy. It's late.
Do you ever order takeaways?
Later, so.
Do you ever order curry takeaway?
Curry?
Yeah.
I don't know where I'd get curry around here, to be honest.
Is that not a thing in Canada? Is that not really a Canadian thing so much?
Not really, no.
It's funny, we don't go out ever, but when you come here, I should take you out all the places. We do every different nationality food pretty well. That'd be fun. We could do we could do a Trekyards live in every restaurant.
Yeah, sure. And I have to remember not to tip, because you guys don't tip. But we tip.
Yeah, why would you tip? It's in the money. You pay them the money. Like, everything is in the... They get a salary because we treat our people right.
I know, but the waitresses and stuff over here get paid less, especially in the States.
I know, I hate
Canada's
it.
different.
I hate it.
Anyway,
they're prettier as well.
That's another whole live discussion.
Yes, well, I just like... Stu, we haven't chatted for a week, have we? So I want to hang out as well,
That's true. We should just have a live hangout then sometime.
Yeah.
Instead of actually... You can watch us catch up. Because, we haven't talked to them since Monday.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody. Love you. See you soon.
I will stop doing